Welcome back to Honeyball. I'm Cassidy James, and we've got some bangers locked and laced in this week's recap from around the game. The Pioneer League's launching bombs in the middle of June. The A's can't sell a win in West Sacramento, and the Miami Marlins are playing to empty seats. MLB might be asleep at the wheel, but Cam Bufford sure isn't. The Oakland infielder handed the Ballers their third straight victory after mashing 5 dingers in a knockout round against the Glacier Range Riders earlier this week, their second tiebreaker of the season. The long ball has been such a hit, the Pioneer League is kicking off a weekly home run derby event this Saturday. For the next 13 Saturdays, 2 players from each team will have 2 minutes to launch as many moonshots as possible, including 1 gold ball that counts for 2, to win a head-to-head matchup for cash prizes. Fans will have their own chance to get in on the action by predicting the number of home runs, with grand prize winners receiving 2 tickets to the 2026 MLB All-Star Game in Philadelphia, along with a $1,000 travel voucher. Talk about giving the fans what they want. That's more than can be said for the big leagues, who continue to have trouble filling the stands. In a June 2nd game against the Colorado Rockies, owners of the worst record in the league at 10-50, the Miami Marlins drew an abysmal 5,894 spectators. That's the same Marlins team who designated Ronnie Simon for assignment last week, a young infielder who torched AAA to start the season, 2 days after he was seen crying as he walked off the field following his 3rd error of the game. It wasn't all that long ago that Bay Area native Marcus Semien committed a staggering 35 errors during his first season in Oakland. Under the tutelage of Ron Washington, Semien would commit to improving his game and became one of the best middle infielders in baseball, earning his way to 3 All-Star games, a Gold Glove, and the single-season record for home runs by a second baseman. Hard to imagine what would have become of him had the A's given up as easily as the Marlins did with Simon. The Pittsburgh Pirates must have seen something they liked, because they claimed him off waivers 3 days later. I guess there is crying in baseball. The A's' attendance in their temporary Sacramento home continues to get worse as they hit a 1-for-20 skid, overshadowing a stellar campaign by Jacob Wilson, who was named Rookie of the Month for May. The 8,487 tickets sold for their 14,014-seat stadium on June 3rd was the lowest of the season so far, and the June 5th matchup against the Twins, when they'd snapped that streak, drew only 8,877. Attendance isn't the only problem facing the A's and owner John Fisher. President Donald Trump's 50% tariffs on aluminum and steel take effect this week at the same time that both Gap and Bally's stock is in freefall, creating major funding concerns for the proposed Las Vegas ballpark, whose groundbreaking was quietly scheduled for later this month. I checked in with ChatGPT for a rough estimate on the potential financial implications, and Chat estimated the tariffs could add anywhere from $60 to $115 million to the project, while its major funders have lost more than $1.75 billion combined dollars so far. With the team allegedly valued at $2 billion, maybe it's time for the Fishers to gamble on a sale. Chicago owner Jerry Reinsdorf has seen the light, agreeing to a sale of the White Sox just last week. Baseball fans have been clamoring for a changing of the ownership guard in recent years, as America's pastime and its influence had gone stale in the States. MLB efforts to revitalize the game with rule changes that include eliminating the infield shift and adding a pitch clock have been met with a mixed response thus far. Perhaps embracing the home run like the Pioneer League could provide a much-needed spark. The Mexican League certainly has, as enthusiastic announcers add another dimension to the entertainment factor. Former athletic Carlos Pérez has been on a tear for the Rieleros de Aguascalientes, mashing a game-winning grand slam this week, his 5th of 6 home runs on the season to go with a .362 batting average. Let's listen in on the call.
El lanzamiento hacia la goma, batazo elevado, profundo. La pelota vuela, la pelota se va, se va, se va. Carlos Pérez.
How's that for excitement? Perhaps it's time for Rob Manfred to look outside our borders for inspiration to grow the game. If nothing else, I can think of a few things both the LMB and KBO offer to spice up in-game entertainment. And that's the T. Short and sweet, like a Rockford peach. I'll see you next swing.
Pitcher's got